I don't know what any of this shit is, and I'm fucking scared.
First, you're gonna tell me about this science stuff.
Sorry about that. What is a scientist?
You caught me like I'm experimenting with
Science!
It's like magic with electricity.
I know that. I'm not stupid. I'm smarter than you.
The smartest scientists in the entire world all agree
Science is a liar sometimes.
Seriously, this could not seem less scientific.
Those idiots don't know anything about science.
It's science.
I believe it's pronounced science.
This is the least scientific thing I've ever seen.
So I'm just experimenting with them.
You be quiet.
Thank you, scientist.
Man, that part at the end, the last section of it, which is actually the end of the song, where that part's the shit.
Yeah.
Love that part.
They're good at whatever those things they play are.
Good at noises.
Yeah.
They're good at plastic and metal and wires and noises.
I still can't get over that they play with masks on and can barely see and still play live. Yeah. They being Fart Barf. If you haven't downloaded them already, you should have.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Fart Barf, as always. We'll say it in the beginning, and we'll say it again at the end.
Yeah.
But since we're talking about them. Anywho's, welcome to another episode under the guise of science.
Hi, y'all. I'm Chris.
Hello, I'm Charles.
And today we have a special guest.
We do. It's either a guest or the first studio audience or some combination of the two.
I was here already, so I just sat down next to Charles while he recorded.
We have a limited time Patreon deal that if you're a Patreon, subscriber, I guess? Is that what they call them?
Sure.
If you're one of our patrons, you get to co-host the show. That's our perk.
You get to come to my house.
Yeah.
If you give me $3, you can come to my house.
$3, it's worth it.
That's a hell of a deal.
We could totally hang out, man. But welcome, let's welcome to the show, Crack.
That's me. Hello,
so
everybody.
Nice to have you, man.
Proud patron.
The audience is excited. Fucking A. Big fan of the show, are you?
I am.
Nice. We'll have more hard-hitting questions as we get later into the show.
Let's do it. I can't wait.
Just
What's the
scratching
show
the
about,
surface.
fellas?
What do we got?
So we're kind of, I guess, bringing back the fact-checking of religious myths or creation stories, I guess. So today we are going with Scientology. Yeah. So I didn't want to necessarily lean into the Xenu stuff because, we can talk about it because that's, I guess, more commonly made fun of. That's the stuff South Park did, like the story of how people came to Earth. But that was also, they put a time on that. They say that happened 75 million years ago or something like that. So that's not the beginning. That's not creation. So we dug a little further and found a text written by L. Ron Hubbard called The Factors, where he lists 30 things, which seems to be the creation myth, I guess we could say.
All right. So it's like L. Ron Hubbard's Bill of Rights.
Yeah. Like Luther's, what was it, 99 points or whatever? Martin Luther's 99 point thing. Yeah.
Thesis? Nope.
Yeah. Something. And he stapled it on a church door or hammered it on.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's quite aggressive.
Use staples.
I don't like what you're saying so much. I'm going to put a fucking note on your door, motherfucker.
Yeah, right. That's more than...
Well, I'll be like your producer who Googles stuff.
But it was just like the church in his town or village, right?
I think so. I think it was the one in walking distance from where he wrote it. Probably.
Which that's kind of silly. That's like someone be like, "Yo, Amazon's a fucked up company," and then just go into the next truck that's on the block and just write on the side of it.
Yeah, spray paint.
Yeah,
Start a revolution.
No, there's a new Amazon spin-off where
guy writes, "Amazon sucks for its workers" on one side, and the driver gets out and writes, "I know" on the other side.
It's like
you're telling me, Mac, right underneath it.
The new version of Amazon is, we believe in the same things as the original Amazon, except we also believe in brakes.
Ooh, before we get in, Crack, can you hand me my prop?
Props.
In honor of Tool playing Rosetta Stone. Now they're reintroducing it to their
on the current tour.
Yeah, I brought my megaphone.
So nice.
Go,
is it on? All right. I'll tell you.
Oh, that would have been good for some McConaughey over the radio.
Oh, would have. There you go. Oh, I was going to let you yell through it if you wanted. Oh. No. If at any point you'd like to, feel free.
Me and Crack just saw Mike Patton using one of those.
Who, where at?
One, Mr. Bungle show.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
How was that? I don't know that I've had a discussion about how the show was.
We did.
Oh, it was awesome.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. It was Crack hit the nail on the head. He goes this.
And just preemptively saying, I probably don't remember the time you and I talked about it, even though it's probably been recorded.
It might have been. But it was good. There's a whole bunch of famous people on stage. It was cool. Lombardo, Scott Ian, Mike Patton, Trey, Trevor.
I've seen all of them in music videos before.
Here they are, all lumped in together. That's fantastic. Good shit. Very nice. Well, Crack and I went to see Booze and Glory together.
Who were they?
About them,
they're a punk band that I thought was like English dudes who are Polish by ethnicity, but no, these are Polish dudes who live in England.
Okay.
But I mean, it doesn't change it. They still kick ass. Like
my mind is still blown, Shao.
Yeah. It was wild. Like, so great. So even crazier than that. So I text Crack. I was like, "Hey, you want to come to this show?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure. I like going to stuff." So I got him an extra ticket. And on the Wednesday before the show's on that Saturday night, Wednesday or Thursday before, I get a text from Crack from the Staten Island Ferry, and he's next to the drummer from Booze and Glory.
Yeah. Son of a
bitch. He had a shirt on that I recognized, so I asked him about the shirt, and he says, "Oh, I'm in this band, Booze and Glory." Well, I got news for you, dude.
Well, blow me down. Yeah, I've been waiting to see these guys in the States since I got into them like 5 years ago, and then this motherfucker runs into him on the ferry.
That's how I do.
Yeah. Well, that's like our good
people.
Yeah, our good friend Tim, who was texting us and saying,
we don't have one of those.
We have a bad friend, Tim.
and he's saying, "Hey, I was hanging out with this guy. Have you heard of him, Mastodon? He's the drummer from." We're like, "You're hanging out with fucking Brett Hine? Go, you don't even appreciate it. You don't even appreciate it."
I don't remember which one of you I said to, but he's like the Forrest Gump of stuff that we like. Like he just fucking stumbles his way into everything. He's like, "Oh, hey, I'm with this guy that you guys all love," and
Yeah. It'll be like,
Hey, I'm here with Iron Lung at a diner. We're both having a cheeseburger.
we'll talk about some legendary. It was Alice in Chains' last show or something like. Oh, I was at that show. You fell asleep. Yeah.
You guys ever hear Metallica?
He said his name is James. I don't
know. He just seemed to kind of agree with me a lot. Every time I asked something, he would just say, yeah, or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should do that for the next 40 minutes on the podcast. Just various Hetfield yeahs.
And then the occasional ooh. Friends. Oh, very nice. So,
right,
unlike our listeners, the Scientology jerks.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
So did I, Crack.
You guys need to make some T-shirts.
Yeah.
Speaking of T-shirts, I just remembered we still got to make the "Here Lies the Late Heavy Bombardment" T-shirt. I'm saying it now, so it's been recorded because I forgot.
That's a funny one too. Yeah, that's the problem with drinking for these shows. It's like, all right, these were various good ideas that we threw out into the universe while drunk, but there's no way I'm going to remember them. I'm assuming they're good ideas.
When I listen to him, it's like, oh man, that is a good idea. And I just don't ever do anything about it. Oh man.
So anyway,
Scientologists. What do we got?
Yeah, let's get
all right.
Fucking guys.
Let's go through the factors. So like I said, this seems to be the L. Ron Hubbard version of creation. So there's 30 things. We'll try to go through as quick as we can and try to score as we go, similar to what we did with Genesis.
Oh, that's right. Genesis got lit up, by the way. What did it get, like 2 out of 13 or 14 or something like that?
Yeah, it was higher than that, though. I think it was like 5.5. I think somehow there was some half point thrown in. But yeah, it wasn't great. They were
Genesis
less than 50%. Yeah, no. They're batting under 50.
I heard the first week was paradise, but after that.
All right. So this is called the summation of the considerations and examinations of the human spirit and the material universe completed between 1923 and 1953 AD. So this is all, I guess, over that time, L. Ron Hubbard put all this stuff together.
What do you write, one a year? And this motherfucker wants to start a religion off of it? I wrote down one thing a year for 30 years, and now we all have to live by it.
That'd be sad because a couple of these, it shouldn't have taken a year to write.
Wait to the last minute. Yeah. You had all summer to think about it.
Figure out what you do. All right. Number 1. Before the beginning was a cause, and the entire purpose of the cause was the creation of effect. Not bad. I mean, that kind of speaks to me to potential, like potential versus kinetic, like you were saying. Like, all right, so before anything happened, there was the possibility that some stuff would happen. And
so before something happened, there was a possibility that something could happen.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
All right, well, he's not wrong.
Right. Yeah. So we're gonna be nice. We're gonna...
Pretty broad strokes there, Elron.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of, you cast the net like that, you're gonna catch something. So we'll give a point. Un punto for that.
So what? What's the point scoring? Just a point per
it's kind of
a point per thing.
Yeah,
Shot
exactly.
feels like they got a point for.
All right.
Yeah, anything that we kind of discuss, and I don't know, it's pretty
can you
loose.
read that?
The points.
Yeah, that's right. It's not a dense point scoring system. It's quite loose.
First, I thought we'd be in a professional recording studio, and then I thought there'd be actual point scoring.
You couldn't see him. He was looking around for the scoreboard a moment ago.
You didn't hear the buzzer. Did we start?
Yeah. Is that a substitution or? Can you reread the first one you read already one more time?
Sure.
I just wanna...
So it's before the beginning was a cause, and the entire purpose of the cause was the creation of effect.
All right.
Right,
I'll that's a solid point.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. All right.
All right. It's fair.
It
Number
is.
2.
It's okay.
Sorry. Yeah. We'll because they don't stay solid.
Yeah. We'll have our chance.
Yeah. In the beginning and forever is the decision, and the decision is to be.
I'll give it a point.
In the decision is forever, and forever is to be. Is that what it was?
In the beginning and forever is the decision. So this is the decision of all time, and the decision is to be. So it's kind of I don't know. That kind of is almost the same as the first one in a way. Like if they're saying that, like it's personifying cause and then personifying existence as a decision of things that exist. Like existence chooses to be existence.
All right, that's some pretty heady stuff, though.
I might be a Scientologist.
You're gonna get the promotion from jerk to gist in no time.
I need a new shirt.
Man, I was gonna say Tom Cruise ain't gonna listen to us anymore, but maybe he's gonna come back if he knows we're converting people.
I don't. To me, it kind of sounds like you're trying to take like an I think therefore I am kind of thing.
Yeah, it's to be or not to be. That is the question. It's the same friggin' thing. And he's just saying the answer is to be.
He just made it wordier.
Yeah.
You just make it brief, son. Have
he's
short,
like,
twice strong.
I got you, Shakespeare. I'll answer.
My problem with Shakespeare is that it wasn't wordy enough.
So I don't know. I'm on the fence whether to give that anything because it is very vague and similar to the first. I don't know, maybe a half point.
All right, half point sounds good.
Okay,
half point sounds good. I'll do half point.
Half point. All right. Number 3. The first action of being. Is this a word? The first action of beingness.
Beingness.
Isn't just being good enough? The first actions of being is to assume a viewpoint.
Yeah,
but the first action of
on the train to be in college.
Yeah, like
this is where I get off. Now you're breaking the rules.
So ness is usually putting the suffix ness usually implies like
a state of like you're almost being. You put ness like if you're. I don't know. Happiness is a state of being happy, right?
Yeah.
So is beingness a state of being? Is that what we're saying?
I've been being, bro.
I've been being.
I've been being on my beingness. So the first action of that is to assume a viewpoint. I don't know what the fuck any of that means, to be honest with you. So I'm not going to give that anything.
Yeah. No points for you.
Yeah. All right. Number 4. The second action of beingness is to extend from the viewpoint, points of view, which are dimension points.
Ooh. That sounds cool.
Again, it sounds way more convoluted than it actually is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hear that one again, if we could, please.
The second action of beingness is to extend from the points of view, which are dimension points. So if we're assuming a viewpoint is being, as it says at number 3, that means that I can see stuff. There's a point of view, so I am a viewpoint. So that's the first part of being. Mm-hmm. And the second thing is to extend from the viewpoint, which are dimension points. So does that mean looking at stuff?
Maybe like 2D.
Like I was thinking it sounds like he's trying to say and immediately my head went to, this is why religions take off, because it just takes somebody going, oh no, he was just saying so you have your own perspective and you have to acknowledge that there's another perspective, that it's not just you, and like how you can, and just how quickly that nonsense could very easily be construed as something worth living your life by.
Yeah. No, and it sounds vague enough that you can fit it into anything depending on what that person is looking for. They can kind of fit it into their own point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like
so
it.
Let me guess, no points.
Yeah, I'm going to say no points for that.
Yeah, shoot it down.
Yeah. This one I like, though. This number 5
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm only shooting this down so I don't look like a Scientologist, but I dug this one.
Well,
actually,
3. If I'm breaking this down, 3 and 4 sound to me like the state of existing. Part 1 is have a viewpoint. Like, I guess a viewpoint is like a person or something that exists. And then part 2 is to see other things, like a dimension point. It sounds like a viewpoint is behind your eyes, and a dimension point is the thing that you're looking at in a way. That might be simplifying it too much, or maybe the guy was complicating too much. Either way, but
all of the previous ones so far would have me believe that he is complicating things.
Number 5, though, thus there is space created, for the definition of space is viewpoint of dimension, and the purpose of a dimension point is space and a point of view. So, I mean, this is a lot of circling around and circular language, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But the reason why I like it is the idea of your viewpoint to something else kind of defines space. Because we've already talked about how there's something deeply hidden, as Einstein said, that there's a lot of stuff in the universe that you can't see. So the idea of me being able to, or looking through a telescope at the moon or something like that, like, yeah, it's super far away and it looks like there's nothing between us and that, but it's only our perception as far as we know. Like, remember we've talked about space and time potentially being relative, like they're not necessarily fundamental. They might be not relative. I think emergent is a better word for that. But number 5, they're saying that space arises almost from the viewpoint to the dimension. It's the emergence of space.
That kind of has like implications of what is it? Like an experiment, the results being changed because they were viewed, like altered by the viewer, kind of thing. I'm butchering.
Yeah, like
called
quantum experiments. Yeah.
Yeah. And there was another
effect,
thing,
bro.
What was that?
The observer effect.
Yes, that very same one.
Yeah, that's from the double slit experiment, when they put the camera on one of the splits and the photon goes to, or whatever it was, the electron behaves like a particle. When they remove the observer, it behaves like a wave.
Also, like, I remember you saying that, I think it was like the episode we were doing, the mind's perception of itself and stuff like that, was like nobody sees the exact same color red, even if they're all looking at the same thing necessarily, just because it's how your eyes work versus the angle of light that you're like. Yeah, so just like that kind of fits in with all that.
Yeah, like you've defined that shade in your mind, and even though it might not be the same shade to someone else, you're both looking at the same thing that is always the shade that you call red, even if you call different shades red. Yeah, it's crazy, but we could never really know. Yeah.
It is. I'm voting for giving that one a point, but I am also gonna undercut that point a little bit with he just fancied up beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah, in a way.
Still gets a point in my eyes, but I am.
Yeah, I
think
we give that one a point.
Yes, so whatever.
Yeah,
whatever. Ron Hubbard.
It was the L for. What's that about? Just
loser. This is a guy who didn't pay taxes and owned a church. He did something right.
Yeah. He figured out something we didn't.
Yeah, there's definitely somebody on Earth named Ronald Hubbard, though, right?
Lafayette Ronald Hubbard.
Oh, Lafayette?
Yes.
Nice.
Lafayette Ronald Hubbard. I'm not joking about the Ronald part either.
Oh, it's Ronald. I was just being a dick.
Nope.
Well, what else could Ron be short for now that we're talking about it? Elrond?
I'm just now
so
realizing
he's short
everybody
both of
who's
his
named Ron is really a Ronald.
Yeah.
Oh, are all Dons Donalds? Oh, God.
So is Elrond like the original J-Lo then? Like double shortening? He was Lafayette Ronald, and he was like, call me Elrond.
Lafayette Ronald will get me no street cred.
Yeah.
Do you think he was ever like, yo, it's your boy Elron, a.k.a. Laffy Ronald?
I like Laffy Ronald.
That's the next shirt. We get a picture of L. Ron Hubbard, but we just put Laffy Ronald.
we might get cease and desists with that.
No, we'll put little bars across his eyes so nobody knows it's him.
I heard, yeah, that works. Yeah.
We'll make him blurry, like he's in witness protection. All right, where are we?
Yep, number 6. The action of a dimension point is reaching and withdrawing.
The
action. I don't know, what does that mean? Shit moves? Is that what he's saying?
The action of a dimension point is
reaching and withdrawing.
See, if I'm already in the mindset where I'm going to be, this is some old shit that he just reworded. That sounds a lot like every action, opposite and equal reaction thing.
For every action is an equal opposite reaction. Yeah,
that one.
Newton's law.
Yeah. Now he's just ripping off scientists.
That would kind of make it true. You know, point pending for me. Not true.
Yeah, stuff does move.
At some point, stuff better, start being not true, so I can get off the Scientology train.
Crack out here trying to get unconvinced at this point.
You too can be on the podcast and become a Scientologist. Nice job.
Yeah, we accidentally
pay $3 a month to become a Scientologist. What kind of scam is this?
We're not in on it. We just move him along. You go with John Travolta.
Fucking every Patreon subscriber ends up joining Scientology. They come on an episode and just get convinced. Oh, man. All right. Well, we got
I don't know.
24. We got 24 more to convince Crack that he doesn't have metachlorians or whatever it is.
I don't want to give him a point for that because this is supposed to be his 30 factors about the existence, and one of his number 6 is stuff moves.
I mean, he's got to be like getting more specific as the list goes on, right? So I'm going to count on that.
I mean, one would hope.
Building on himself. Yeah.
I'm desperately hoping right now.
All right, number 7 here. And from the viewpoint to the dimension points, there are connection and interchange. Thus, new dimension points are made. Thus, there is communication.
Oh, he's not wrong about that either.
No, that one I kind of like too. That's
All right. Well, let's hear it. Why do you like it?
Just sounds cool.
Just because it's totally.
But a lot of these sound like the fucking Bible with the firmament, and then they made waters above the waters, and then they split the waters, and then it's like, get a thesaurus.
Right. Yeah, we're just repeating the same. Yeah, the whole viewpoint. But this is again kind of like we were just talking about, from observer to the thing that's being observed, and how the interactions between things. I mean, that's how stuff created. I mean, you can go back to when the universe was too hot and shit was moving around in that quark gluon plasma. It wasn't until it started cooling down, and then you can have that exchange of energies between what's it called, neutrons, protons, and electrons, to have things be created, and
croutons,
new dimension points are made. Like I'm being generous. We're still there's a whole bunch salad with the crouton. Sorry.
Serious question.
Yeah.
Did he make these up, or did he claim to like get these channeled to him by some kind of god or gods or something?
That's a good question.
I don't think this is from anything other than him like thinking about shit.
All right.
Because it in the beginning, and the thing, it said he put this together over 30 years or whatever. So
yeah, okay.
Yeah. So it seems like it's some kind of deep thought exercise. But
well,
I mean,
he's no Jack Handy, I'll tell you that much.
Well, number 8 is close. Move on. So as of now, the first 7, we're awarding 3.5 points. So they're so far above the Genesis story.
Yeah.
Percentage wise.
No.
All right. Strap in though. All right, number 8. And thus there is light. Bullshit. That's not how shit. Like, how do you observe from your viewpoint to a dimension point without light in the first place? Light is not born from that observation. Light allows the observation.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't like that.
Wait, say that again. I only heard you say unless there was light. Was it the entire thing?
That's number 8, and thus there is light.
Oh, and
that's the whole thing?
That's the whole thing.
No point.
Nope.
I don't know.
Yeah. Number 9. Oh, sorry.
That's almost lose a point.
It is, but let's see what number 9 is.
Yeah,
maybe it's a dot scenario, and number 9 begins with a dot.
Number 9 is, and thus there is energy. Elfine.
All right. So hold on a second. So that was, and thus there was light, and thus there was energy. Read the one before that one again, and let's see if this goes.
Before that is, and from the viewpoint to the dimension points, there are connection and interchange. Thus new dimension points are made. Thus there is communication.
And then thus there is light. Thus there is energy.
Right. Yeah.
What rule are we up to again?
That was 9 and 10, I believe, right?
Does 8 and 9. And we'll throw in number 10 because number 10 is, and thus there is life.
And
man, those could all be one.
Yeah. Those 4 together. The one that first had, and thus there is. Either.
So that is.
So we had a whole year to come up with
3 years in a row. He was day before. He was like, "Oh shit!"
3 years in a row, this motherfucker came up with a noun.
Damn.
Right? Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I could come up with like 3 nouns a year easily, and I'll pay like twice as much taxes as he did.
Yeah. So to your point that you were saying 8 is close to being a -1, I think the combo of 8, 9, and 10 being weak like that, I think we take a point away. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, Ed. Yeah. Screw it. Because the thing I was going to say was, no, make it 27 questions now, but that bumps the average up because there's less questions. So, yeah. Keep it 30. Make it 33.
Yeah. No, we can only grade what he handed in, right? This was your best effort, Ronald.
Yeah.
Told you it's Lafayette. I told you it's Elron.
Not so laughy now, are we, Ronald?
All right, number 11. All right, I think he realized the last 3 years were wasted, and he was like, "All right, I got to come up with some shit." So, but there are other viewpoints, and these viewpoints outthrust points to view. And there comes about an interchange amongst viewpoints, but the interchange is never otherwise than in terms of exchanging dimension points.
Oof.
No, this is hold on. This is
give him a point for getting back on track, though.
No, this
style point.
This is just fucking. I got blocked up in the firewall. I gotta reroute myself into the mainframe. You're just saying words in a row.
Yeah, it's not really creation, I would say. The first 10 points are almost like saying you're alive because you're supposed to be, in a way. And then number 11 is, but don't forget, there are other people. So it's... he almost uses viewpoints as an exchange for life or I don't know. But to me, this is, what about frogs? We don't count them. What about, like, this is very human being specific. It's not life or creation, because there's a lot of other shit that was created other than your viewpoint and other people's viewpoints.
In most creation myths, if I'm not mistaken, people are that new shit. Like, there was a bunch of shit before people for a while. Even in, like, actual evolution, like, people are barely a fraction, barely a blink on the scale of life.
It's almost like he's making a case for Boltzmann brains to be a thing.
Ooh, what's that?
Ooh, Boltzmann's brain? Boltzmann's brain?
I just thought I misheard something.
So... I don't know who Boltzmann is, but it's the person who came up with the thought experiment.
I think I do know.
Okay, so the idea of something from nothing, the fact that a big bang, the entire universe could have popped from nothing. The odds of that happening are so small that this person, Dr. Professor, whatever, Boltzmann, said... it's actually more likely for a brain to pop into existence for that split second of time and have all of the memories and experiences of a life lived. And that's what reality, like, it's more likely for that to happen because an entire universe popping into existence out of nothing is way more complex than a single brain popping into existence and having the experiences of a universe that exists, if that makes sense.
I didn't know what this was, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Just to take away any credit I gave myself.
Man,
I do now, but...
Yeah.
That definitely bolts my man brain. Holy crow.
Yeah. It's saying all of reality, because... I mean, and obviously he was kind of using it as a thought experiment to say it's ridiculous to say that the universe popped into existence out of nothing, because there's no way that would happen. It's more likely that this weird thing would happen, which is also ridiculously unlikely to happen as well. So, it's just, but that it seems like he's making a point for that the viewpoints and the experience and the what do you call it? The distance between the viewpoint and the dimension. What was it called? The second action of beingness is to extend from the points to view, which are dimension points. And the thing that I said I liked, that space is created from the viewpoint to the dimension. But all this shit is happening before light, energy, and life. So yeah, that assumes, like you were saying.
Yeah, it's just... Yeah, that's pretty much like, so this is all like the let there be light, not that this is even necessarily the full creation story. Like, stuff just kind of is, and then you are too, kind of thing.
Yep. The only reason for existence is for stuff to exist. And before it existed, it was ready to be beingness.
All right.
So fuck that. No points.
No.
I forgot what it was, but I'm like, I don't feel like it's pointsy. So,
so it's that 11? 11 in there?
That was 11, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Up to 12. The dimension point can be moved by the viewpoint, for the viewpoint, in addition to creative ability and consideration, possesses volition and potential independence of action, and the viewpoint, viewing dimension points, can change in relation to its own or other dimension points or viewpoints, and thus comes about all the fundamentals there are to motion.
Ooh, he did his homework that year.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
It makes me mad.
Good.
It makes me mad is what it means, because so he's saying that stuff moves, and that's why things move. Those are the fundamentals of motion, is that things can move. What the fuck does that mean? Things can move, and that's why it's all circular bullshit.
Yo, this motherfucker sounds like a science teacher who answers follow-ups with "because I said so." Why does stuff move? Because it does. It's like, all right.
Can I see a calculation? Yeah.
It's got to be more to it than that.
In the viewpoint, viewing dimension points can change. And that's how all the fundamentals of motion come about, because stuff moves. Yeah. So
stuff moves
and
like stuff can change.
I'm on the fence that, like, you know what? I want to take away that half point.
All right. I'm with that.
I don't want to take away a full point for that, but I want to take away the half. Yeah.
All right. What else we got? Who else we got?
What do we got? What other numbers we got? So we're not even halfway through. I'll try to pick up the pace, but 13 is the dimension points are each and every one, whether large or small, solid, and the solid is italicized, and they are all solid. And they are solid solely because the viewpoints say they are solid. What?
Everything is solid?
And the only reason they're solid is because we say it is.
Yo, everything is solid sounds like an early 70s funk album. Which I would buy the shit out of, by the way.
Gotta give him a point for that.
Solid gold.
Solid. I don't, because not everything is solid. What about the stuff that's liquids?
No. And actually in number 14, many dimension points combine into larger gases, fluids, or solids. Thus there is matter. But the most valued point is admiration. And admiration is so strong, its absence alone permits persistence.
I almost had a thing where I was going to pay him a compliment, and this motherfucker brings up admiration.
It's like ChatGPT just wrote me a religion.
I was going to say how he was saying shit was like solids, like everything's made up of solids and other solids. Like, yeah, I guess like you could kind of like, okay, maybe neutrons, protons making up atoms, and then atoms. It's like, all right, cool. Maybe you're going
if
that.
you're using solid to mean like firm and real. I get it from that angle. Yeah, okay.
Right. But then, what does admiration have to do with it?
I don't know. And especially in the sentence where we talk about how everything is solid, but many of those dimension points that we see are solid because we say they're solid, they combine into gas.
Man, the 1920s was wild.
I didn't know what the fuck they were talking about.
Made me admiration meant something else back then.
I mean, admiration is good, but
right, but it doesn't.
I guess admiration would be something that you would say is the most valued point if you were trying to start a religion based on people admiring you.
Here, you know what?
Here,
we're gonna do a quick example of something. Here, you tell me something that you really like about yourself.
That I like about myself?
Yes.
I like that I'm overcoming my depression every day.
Under the guise of psychiatry.
Yeah.
So my response to that is solid. So, so admiration causes solid. That's how.
You mean shall go deep just for that?
Yeah. Like, I don't really like a lot about myself. And then I was like, oh, that's because of what but I'm getting better. So that's what I like about myself. There we
go. I did not know that was going to be the response. I thought you were going to be like, I'm pretty cool.
I'm handsome. I like I'm handsome.
Oh man.
I like how I mask my horror with humor.
I like that I have skin on so no one can see the horrors that dwell below.
Number 15.
Yeah.
The dimension point can be different from other dimension points and thus can possess an individual quality. And many dimension points can possess a similar quality, and others can possess a similar quality unto themselves. Thus comes about the quality of classes of matter. So if we go back to the beginning, what I think dimension points or what I think a dimension point is stuff that you can look at as a viewpoint. So all this is saying is that stuff can be different. Maybe.
Yeah, he's just rehashing stuff.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh, I didn't say shit. I forgot. He's rehashing shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no kids listen to this. I tried letting my kids listen to like the first 3 episodes. And then in episode 4, I told that story about running along the side of the car on the New York Thruway.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, all right, yeah, maybe this isn't for kids.
Yeah. Or at least not my own.
Right. When you're older.
But yeah, it's sometimes, even though some stuff is the same, other stuff's different.
Yep. And that's how quality of classes of matter come about.
Yeah, no point.
It's like backwards.
Yeah, I don't know. No point.
Yeah, easy, no point.
No. Yeah. 16. Excuse me. The viewpoint can combine dimension points into forms, and the forms can be simple or complex, and can be at different distances from the viewpoint. And so there can be combinations of form, and the forms are capable of motion, and the viewpoints are capable of motion, and so there can be motion of forms.
He's really just taking just words and putting them in the blender.
Yeah, he's taking a wager that I'm not going to think that through.
like that was if I can summarize that. So some stuff is near and some stuff is far away. And some stuff when it moves will be closer, and it'll look different when it's closer than when it's far away.
Yeah. That summarizes it nicely. You know what this was? This is because the 3 years where he wrote 8, 9, and 10, he got in trouble. They were like, "This is too short. You got to put some effort into this."
Oh yeah.
Like, all right, you want to put effort into it? All right.
Something happened in those years where maybe he quit
You want
drinking.
words?
Or
I got
something.
words. Right.
I found coffee.
Yep. There you go.
After the third year in a row of putting out "and thus a noun," he's running up snowy mountains, fucking chopping wood on the mountaintop. Like, oh yeah, I'll get ready for this shit.
Nice try, Lafayette. Right. And the 17, and the opinion of the viewpoint regulates the consideration of the forms, their stillness or their motion, and these considerations consist of assignment of beauty or ugliness to the forms, and these considerations alone are art. Yeah. So again, this is supposed to be like the fundamentals or building blocks or whatever, and we're already up to viewpoints that have opinions. So this precludes hydrogen. Like, it's like, I don't think hydrogen has an opinion, and that's been around way, like, if viewpoints came first.
Have you ever talked to hydrogen? You don't know. You haven't even tried to get to know hydrogen, bro. You don't know how it feels.
It's too combustible. I don't want to engage.
Too much of an inflammatory relationship.
There's a dad joke for the kids. But yeah, I don't know. We're already up to, we're not even like beauty and ugliness. That came way later.
Like it.
Hydrogen
back in the day,
oxygen's ugly, bro. It happened that early.
Yeah, I don't think Homo habilis was like, she's hot. Like, there's a hole. I'm banging it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. It's mating season. Let's do that thing. Yeah.
There was no discerning at that point. Like, no, I'm sorry. I'm only into chicks with shorter hair, bro. And it's like, hey, you're a fucking caveman.
Right, yeah.
Have you died because you stuck your penises into rocks and you bled to death?
Right. Nobody has washed anything.
Nobody has watched anything until literally 80 years ago, right?
Yeah, right.
That shit is
They're
real.
Like, oh,
new.
shit. Yeah, they're like, why are all these people dying? It must be ghosts. Someone's like, well, wait a minute.
There was something I was listening to where like a king during the plague took like 3 showers in 1 year and everybody was furious. And I don't remember if it was for good or for bad, like because people didn't like showering because
showering is the devil.
Yeah. But like every gross disease came out of water. So like why would you bathe?
Yeah.
Like that,
sure, they weren't boiling or filtering.
Yeah, which in the 1200s they were not.
Which is, so here's a little history tidbit. So thanks to water being so awful for you, and the fact that sailors used to bring beer or alcohol on the boats because that was really the only thing that you could drink, and that would keep for a long time, especially going months at sea and everything like that. So the original plan for the whatever boat found, what was it? Nina Pinta Santa Maria, were those the Columbus boats?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, they were.
Who landed? Did they land on Plymouth Rock? Now I'm getting confused. Or was that the
Plymouth
Mayflower?
Rock landed on. Oh, I can't even talk. Never mind.
Yeah.
No, that
Well, not like the Mayflower or something.
I forget which boat it was. What are we talking about? Was
Emerald
it the
showers
Mayflower
bring
that landed
Mayflowers.
there?
I don't know. Something like Mayflower was Plymouth Rock. Yeah, Nina
Yes.
Pinto Santa
So-
Maria was. Like the Caribbean islands, technically.
So the Mayflower,
Mhm.
one is not supposed to necessarily land at Plymouth Rock, but they ran out of beer, so they had to land sooner. So that's where they landed, and were nice enough to meet the tribe of Native Americans that helped them not die over the winter. And if they proceeded with the original plans, it may not have happened. They might have landed, and none of us would have been here, or at least none of us would have been here.
But they found those nice indigenous peoples and were like, "Hey man, we're out of beer. You guys got a deli around here that's open 24 hours or something?" And they were like, "No, it's the 1600s."
Yeah. But luckily that whoever they found had someone that could communicate. They didn't have the deli yet, but they had someone that could speak English or close some semblance of it, right?
Yeah, I would assume so. Otherwise, it was just lots of pointing at stuff. You have this, me, you this.
They were pointing at the deli sign and showing it's not 12 o'clock and it's Sunday. Now you can't.
They're pointing at the deli sign, me in, and they were like, that not time yet.
3 hours.
Yeah.
Three.
They're like, these motherfuckers have 3. I don't know. They might have just skipped it. They might have went 1, 2, 4. I have no idea. Could have been anything.
Well, I'll find that story and share it in the links because I butchered it. But yeah, it was along those lines that if it weren't for beer, America wouldn't be America as we know it.
Wouldn't be America.
No. Wouldn't be America without beer.
Nope. I tell you what.
That's when Native Americans had pickup trucks, and that's when the settlers first fell in love.
These Native Americans seem to enjoy a nice cool Coors. I wonder if they made him say it like that, or he's like, no, there's 2 O's in that word.
Yeah, I'm hitting them both.
I'm saying Coors.
All right. Number 18. Back to it here. It is the opinions of the viewpoints that some of these forms should endure. Thus there is survival. I don't know.
No.
Like, yeah, that's not why I think things survive because they don't want to die, because it's built into the things that did not try not to die probably did die and didn't pass on their hey, don't die survival instincts.
I hope I have those.
It was almost like it was stuff's gonna happen, but stuff's gonna be around because some stuff will still be around. Like that's what it kind of felt like.
And only some of the forms. Like again, I feel like this is very human centric.
And extra vague on extra purpose.
Yeah. And as far as we know, our definition of forms is multiple dimensions that can be in different complex combinations. You combine dimension points into forms, and the forms can be simple. So some of these forms
the dimension points? Or the forms?
I thought beings were the viewpoints, because the first act of being was to assume a viewpoint.
Yeah, this whole religion got off the ground for the same reason that like young kids don't really know what's going on. Like like as far as learning about sex, because it's just like, oh yeah, did you hear about doggy style? You know what it means? Yeah, I know what it means. What does it mean? You tell me if you know what it means. And it's like just that. It's like nobody actually knows, but no one wants to get called out for not knowing what it is, so they just keep agreeing with it.
Right.
And now,
there's survival.
And now Tom Cruise is running it.
Yep.
Because
Tom
they wouldn't
Cruise
just
is
admit they didn't know what
Jesus.
somebody was talking about. Now there's 10 Mission Impossible movies. I hope you're happy.
and Katie Holmes is held prisoner for 2 decades.
Which I have my theory about why she wasn't in The Dark Knight. Because I just rewatched Batman Begins last night, and I forgot she was even in it. So she did a movie called Thank You for Smoking with Aaron Eckhart, who played Two-Face in Dark Knight. Fun movie, by the way. He plays a tobacco lobbyist. It's very biting satire, if you want to.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
But they have a lot of scenes where they're doing it. In Katie Holmes and Aaron Eckhart in that movie, and their romantic love interests and such. So that came out a few years before Dark Knight came out, and my guess is that Tom Cruise was like, "Nope, you're not allowed to be the romantic interest of him again, because I don't want you guys being intimate and stuff like that."
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's.
I thought it was because she thought she was going to make more money being in that shit movie with Queen Latifah and Diane Keaton, and film that instead.
Oh, I don't even know what movie that is. I can't even think of the name.
Yeah, we might be watching it later.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly, Katie Holmes. Exactly. You missed out on The Dark Knight being fucking Queen Latifah rom-com.
Not only that, doubling down. So because you bailed on that, we got stuck with fucking Maggie Gyllenhaal?
Yeah. That's probably why they wrote her to get killed. Yeah. Like, you know what? Let's just get rid of this character altogether.
Never mind.
And speaking of 19, and the viewpoint can never perish, but the form can perish. So again, I thought the viewpoint we established way back when was how you assume that exists for beingness. I don't know what that means. Because the form I thought was dimension points.
Is viewpoint maybe?
Yeah, I would think that should be reversed.
Like the soul or the consciousness. Is that the viewpoint, perhaps?
Maybe, yeah, that might be what they're going for. And this whole thing is a soul in a body, kind of. Yeah,
because then with that, the viewpoint. Yeah, the form can die, but the viewpoint could never die, or something like that. Which would, if those words that shouldn't be those words mean those words, like maybe it's alluding to like a soul living on after the death of the form or the body.
Right. Well, that's the viewpoints, those things in the volcano or whatever.
Oh yeah. So then, that's I've always took it as the souls. Like the souls going into the volcano, right? So the things that go into the Scientology sperm that gets shot into the volcano or out of the volcano, I don't remember. That's the viewpoints.
I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to make the connection. I don't want to speak falsely about this collection of lies, but.
Maybe if he's like, I'll never define these terms, this way people can never say like definitively that it's bullshit.
Right. Yeah, the terms all just kind of define each other.
Maybe that's the next rule.
Rule number 22. This means whatever you think it means.
Gotta get that
as long as I get paid for it.
Number 20 is, and the many viewpoints interacting become dependent upon one another's forms and do not choose to distinguish completely the ownership of dimension points, and so comes about a dependency upon the dimension points and upon the other viewpoints.
Boo! Boo this point.
That one's, again, just talking in circles, saying,
God damn, I actually miss 8 through 10 Hubbard right now.
Right.
Yeah, you know what? To his credit, it's amazing how many circles he went into on that point. So,
yeah.
point for that point.
Like, I feel like every single one of these should be like written in spiral form, where at the end it's just super teeny tiny right in the middle. Like,
yeah,
I'm doing
it starts big and gets smaller.
Yeah,
instead of spiraling in instead of out. Yeah.
Exactly. Spiral out.
Yeah. All right, so now we're all the way at number 21. And 21 is talking about the dependencies upon dimension points and blah, blah, blah. So now 21 says, from this comes a consistency of viewpoint of the interaction of dimension points, and this regulated is time. I hate that.
Yo, okay.
Yeah. All this other bullshit. I want to take a point away for that, if I'm being straight.
Yo, I guarantee you for like $480,000 they sell a glossary to this bullshit and what everything actually means. Like when you get to like level whatever the hell, it's like you get the glossary.
Yeah.
And find out what it actually means.
You should make that like a Patreon tier. Like you get the glossary and give it away to the $5 a month subscribers. I'd pay it.
We make an Under the Guise of Science Scientology glossary.
Not affiliated with Scientology.
The glossary for Scientology jerks. It's like, no. This has nothing to do with you. Take you're the greatest law team that the planet has ever assembled and get the fuck away from me.
Right. That would be funny if this is the last podcast. At least we went out with up in smoke.
You never know.
Yeah.
Nah, man, this will get them worked up, and then Leah Remini's going to be on our side.
That's true. We're from Staten Island.
Yeah.
Shout out Leah Remini, also from Staten Island.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she really from Staten Island? I mean, that makes
I didn't know
sense.
that.
Her accent is gross.
Yeah, so it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
A camera crew's probably already on the way. We heard you've so far given Scientology 3.5 points. They're knocking on the door.
Scientology is like, we don't even know what if it isn't 100%, then we're suing you for everything you're worth. We don't even know what the game is. We don't know what the score is, but
no, I'm taking away a point for that one though, because like I said, we defined space way back at number 5, and we don't get to time till 21. That's horse shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
All right. So number 22. I know we missed 8, 9, and 10. Elron. So number 22 is, and there are universes.
All right, well, he's not wrong.
Yeah, right, yeah. You give him a point back for that. Sure.
Yeah, that's like he turned in the last sentence. He's like, here you go, right on time. And they're like, you missed last year. What? And there are universes. That's the next one. Didn't even bother.
Yeah, I did
turn
2 at
around.
once.
We did say we missed 8, 9, and 10. So
we did.
I got to give this a point because we already said that.
Right. Ask and ye shall receive. All right. Yeah. Give him.
You win this time, Elron.
Yeah. You were a bit laughy this time, Ronald. I'll allow it.
Number 23. The universes then are 3 in number. The universe created by one viewpoint, the universe created by every other viewpoint, the universe created by the mutual action of viewpoints, which is agreed to be upheld, the physical universe. He's describing the universe like it's blockchain, basically.
I kind of like that one, though.
Oof, I don't know how blockchain works, so let's hear it.
That's another podcast. That's the blockchain episode, bro. Don't get ahead of yourself.
Long story short is all the nodes in the blockchain agree that something is of value, and that's why that thing is the value. That's what it boils down to.
Okay. See, yeah. I took that as the three things are your own personal viewpoint, everybody else's viewpoint, and then how you reconcile the two. Like that is your existence in it. But then what's the last couple of words? The last couple of words, it just throws it out the fucking window again.
The physical universe.
Yeah. Why is that?
Yeah.
That is you just figured out how to like coexist. Like you explain that it's like it's your ideas, their ideas, and then how those ideas work together is what I got. And then also the physical universe.
Your ideas, their ideas, and how those ideas work together makes rocks. Like that's nope. 24. And the viewpoints are never seen, and the viewpoints consider more and more that the dimension points are valuable, and the viewpoints try to become the anchor points and forget that they can create more points and space and forms. Thus comes about scarcity, and the dimension points can perish, so the viewpoints assume that they too can perish.
Oh, man.
No point.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means again. I don't know what that fucking means.
So to me, that can go one of two ways. Again, if we're talking about viewpoints being souls, that they're saying that because dimension points being the other stuff can disappear, the viewpoints assume that they too can, like, because you see a tree get knocked down, you assume that you too can perish. That's number one. Or number two is that viewpoints are like angels, or like outside of the reality, and they're looking in. They're the things that could never die, and we're the dimension points, and we only exist from, like, that puts a whole different paint job on things going back all the way to number one. But either way, I don't like it.
Like hearing it not in Saul Rosenberg's voice is always the funniest thing in the world. Oh, well, that puts a whole different paint job on things.
Because of the Jerky Boys, that has become part of my just regular vernacular. That's a phrase I use pretty often.
Like without the voice, it's the same as hearing, "Hey, Shallon, what the fuck?" Joke for 12 people.
You too can have this joke for $3 a month.
I don't give that a point at all.
No, me either. But 25 then, thus comes about death. It's again a short one, but I think the point is because you see other things die and assume you can die, that's why you die. Yeah. Tell that to everyone that didn't want to die that has died. Like
that's like in Family Guy, Stewie and Brian, or they just smoked together, and Stewie goes, "Hold on, I think the only reason that we die," and then Brian's like, "Stop, dude! I know what you're gonna say." He's like, "No, the only reason we die is we accept it as an inevitability." Wow. It's like, no.
Yeah.
I mean, that is exactly what that is saying. Like,
right.
Like, sure, it's nice to say, yeah, you're only as old as you think you are. And it's like, well, I behave like I'm 14 and I am 42. Both things exist.
I go running like I'm in high school, like I did in high school, and my knees yell at me like I'm 43.
Amen,
because
brother.
I'm 43. Like, yeah. So yeah. No, sir. No points awarded.
No points.
26. The manifestations of pleasure and pain, of thought, emotion, and effort, of thinking, of sensation, of affinity, reality, communication, of behavior and being are thus derived, and the riddles of our universe are apparently contained and answered herein.
Ooh. I like it, but where are the answers? Answered herein where?
All right.
In the manifestations of pleasure, pain, thought, emotion, all that kind of
so
stuff.
all the stuff that existence is made up of. And then what's the last part of it?
All the things that existence are made up of are derived, and the riddles of our universe are apparently contained and answered herein.
Hold on, what
riddles
are
of our
they derived
universe
from?
They just are. They
just
thus
are derived.
Yeah.
Like
they're derived. I guess they're derived. If it's thus, it's referring to previously. Thus comes about death. So all this other stuff that reality exists because they're derived from the existence of death, or all that stuff that we feel.
Which again sounds like there's something earlier that was like, oh, it's probably not a bad thing to have in your life, like that type of a mindset. Like, everything, pleasure, pain, everything nice that happens, everything good and bad that happens, all happens because we know that we're going to die eventually.
Right. Things are only special because you're getting to experience them, and you won't always. He said scarcity earlier too. It's the same thing. Like if you lived at it's not Action Park anymore, but whatever, it's Mountain Creek. If you lived there, is that the name of it? The amusement park in Jersey.
Yeah.
So if you got to work by going down the water slide or something, like that'd just be your commute. That's not. Yes, let's go to the water park once a year, right? Is that what they're going with?
It's like, oh man, every time I get to the show, my fucking pants are wet. Everything that's amazing is amazing until you have to do it every day.
Yeah. And also the riddles of our universe, such as dark matter, are not apparently contained and answered herein. So
I keep on giving too many points of creativity and not like validity. This would be one of those
that
cases
sounds good.
I'm going to find myself at some kind of mass for Scientologists. Like, I'm only here because I thought he had some creative points. I don't think any of it's true.
Yeah, I don't believe it. I just like listening to it. and you guys do donuts and coffee, so I like donuts.
Damn it! Keep an eye on me.
Oh, we're getting
$3 a month. We will convert you to a religion of our choice.
God damn it. Stop listening now, people.
Or start giving us money.
Yeah.
If you wanted to surprisingly be cast into a religion that you never thought you would be.
All right, number 27. There is beingness, but man believes there is only becomingness. I don't know what that means, but it made me listen to Becoming, so I was cool with that.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I'm listening to it right now, brother.
Anything that gets me to listen to Pantera, I'll give it a point.
All right, that's another short and sweet one. What? Say it again.
Yeah. There is beingness, but man believes there is only becomingness.
This is the first mention of man at all.
Yes, it is, and with a capital M. Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, capital M,
so
man.
he means it.
Yeah.
I'm a man.
So beingness. So there is beingness, but there's also becomingness, or there's not beingness, but there is become. What was the wording of it again?
It doesn't say whether or not becomingness is real. It just says man believes there is only becomingness. So we think that you can only become, you can't just be. I don't agree with that, because I would gladly like quit my job and just hang out if I could.
Yeah, like that. It's like man only believes
bro.
there's becomingness. It's like absolutely. Actually, I'm pretty good to just chill.
Yeah, becoming's a scam.
Yeah.
I am good being this. I don't have to be a different thing. Yeah. But
All
yeah,
right, the
point,
last three.
point for Pantera.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll give a point for Pantera, because the last three are very wordy.
Wait, time
so
out.
Bear with me.
Are we ahead or behind of Genesis right now?
Way behind now. Yeah, we're at 3 out of 27. So.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like
because I took off some points for bullshit.
Yeah, we were plowing ahead for a minute.
They started out of them. Pretty good, but yeah.
It's like when you're watching American Gladiators, and one of them is like kicking ass right out of the gate, and then they just can't they can't get past Turbo at all.
Yeah, they went through the wrong corridor. They broke through the glass, and there's Turbo with the pad on the other side,
and then they're just fucking stuck.
wedging them against the wall.
Turbo's on steroids.
Yeah.
And even though Genesis like fell off of the balance beam and had to climb the cargo net, they picked the right and broke right through. Yeah.
Genesis found a way.
Genesis slams right into Gemini. Yeah.
28. All right. Yeah. The resolution of any problem posed hereby is the establishment of viewpoints and dimension points, the betterment of condition and concourse amongst dimension points, and thereby viewpoints, and the remedy of abundance or scarcity in all things, pleasant or ugly, by the rehabilitation of the ability of the viewpoint to assume points of view and create and uncreate, neglect, start, change, and stop dimension points of any kind at the determinism of the viewpoint. Certainty in all three universes must be regained, for certainty, not data, is knowledge.
Damn, he's skilled
so
on that
one. I'm not certain that I understood any of that.
Me neither.
So I'm talking
I'll give that a point, honestly. He did his homework on that.
Well, here's my question though. At the end, it's certainty, not data. Data is created from certainty, right?
Certain. I think the other way around. Certainty is you can't be certain about anything unless you have data to back it up.
True.
Yeah, the proof is in the pudding. So, unless they're saying that after you get the data and then you get to a point where you're certain, then you could say you know something. Which, I don't know, is 28 L. Ron Hubbard saying, come at me, bro? Is that what this is?
This one's packed with words.
You know what the fuck he's like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about either. Come at you got something better? Come on.
Yeah.
I brought all my words in this one, motherfucker.
I'm giving 28 a point.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll feel generous.
You guys don't have to, but you know.
No, I'll give that one a point because I don't know either.
That
sounded good.
Beat us with what it did
that's
sound
your
good.
One Patreon point.
Wasted on this.
It's a $3 point, ladies and gentlemen. 29. In the opinion of the viewpoint, any beingness, anything is better than no thing. Any effect is better than no effect. Any universe better than no universe. Any particle better than no particle. but the particle of admiration is best of all.
Aww.
Yo, this was something is better than nothing. That's all that was over and over again.
Something is better than nothing, but liking me is the best thing in the world.
Yeah, he has to define admiration.
Yeah. And I guess I'm showing my depression hand here, but I disagree with that wholeheartedly, because there's some universe out there that couldn't get going. There's some universe out there where the laws of physics either we're too loose or too dense, one way or the other, and shit couldn't exist.
Oh, what a sad ass universe,
that better
bro.
than Or like, there's people out there that were like really good at something and then lost that thing. Like, a really good thumb wrestler, and then they lose their thumb in a tragic mill accident. Oh.
Existence is
that
cruel.
happens. Yeah. And now he'll never thumb wrestle again.
Oh, man.
Because he works the lumber mill.
What if he was just like, yo, I'm really good at having a foot, and he lost that foot?
Right. And that was his whole identity was based on being the best foot haver.
You see how well this guy has feet? I haven't seen anyone have a foot like this fucking guy, man. Nobody has feet like him. It's crazy.
Now he's in his room. That's what they used to say about me, Mom.
And I will show my I'll show my mental illness hand of insecurity with but admiration is best. It's like, yeah, I could have things, I could have things, but I really want you to like me.
Right.
Because if you could just do that, that would make everything better.
That's even more important than the particles that make up food. Most important. And I don't think admiration's a particle. He totally just threw that at the end. Like, he didn't define particles. This is the first time particles were mentioned. And it's like, the particle of you liking me is the best one there is. The second best particle after liking me is the particle of you giving me money.
This guy knows his particles.
So there's that.
Oh, so point or no point? Not to get
I say no point to maybe talk about my feelings.
I'll give a point. No one was still well behind Genesis. I'll give him a point.
Sympathy
yeah,
point.
If we were, catching up to Genesis, no way. But
yo, this motherfucker didn't pay taxes the last 40 years he was alive. Fuck him and his sympathy points.
Yeah, no, he's no point on that. You can give him a crack point. Your own sheet.
Game recognizes game, son. Point.
And number 30.
The last one. All right.
Yeah. And above these things, there might be speculation only. So, and I love that he says all this other stuff was all this is, and thus this is how this exists. And the first sentence of this, there might be speculation only. So at the end of it all, he's going, I don't know. But so, and above these things, there might be speculation only. And below these things, there is the playing of the game. But these things which are written here, man can experience and know. And some may care to teach these things, and some may care to use them to assist those in distress, and some may desire to employ them to make individuals and organizations more able, and so could give to Earth a culture of which Earth could be proud. Humbly tendered as a gift to man by L. Ron Hubbard.
Boo, no point.
Nobody writes a sentence like that and then follows it up with humbly.
Yeah.
And
that was an immediate no point at humbly. Humbly what?
Yeah.
I knew it. Humbly
man.
tendered.
Yeah.
I threw up in my mouth.
And and all these things that he's saying, some people may use them for good, or some people may use, because all this stuff is clearly excellent and could be used by organizations to give Earth a culture that Earth should be proud of. But it's all speculation. I'm just saying maybe. And below all these things, most importantly, there is the playing of the game, which is him saying right there in code that I'm just trying to get your money. That's underlying all of this, is that I don't really want to go to work. I'm tired of writing books and paying taxes. Yeah.
I've been trying to write books here in Isaac Asimov's shadow for decades, and I can't seem to get any fucking money. So how about you just give me some?
So there's his 30 factors.
All right. Do we have any stuff about the Xenu stuff? I know.
Yeah, bro. Get to that.
Okay.
But
I don't really have too much. If you want to go into it, I don't.
Maybe
I
it's
know
better
the,
off you
high
don't.
points of the story. Yeah.
All right. So.
Well, I just know. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to try to do my best to recall this. Aliens got here, and then they put everybody's souls in a volcano, and they were evil, and then the volcano shot them out and shot them all over the earth, and the souls are supposed to all get back together. Otherwise, John Travolta and Barry Pepper are going to fight in space with terrible makeup on.
Yeah, there's a disconnect
cool,
between that and the 30 part and the 30 rules or whatever he has.
Yeah. And there was hydrogen bombs involved. Like they set off the volcanoes with hydrogen bombs or something. None of this happened.
At every point, I feel disappointed for trying to make sense out of it. So it's relieving that none of it, in fact, happened.
We were texting yesterday, and Sean was like, "Hey, I'm going to do these instead of the other story," and I was like, "Why?" He's like, "Well, because none of it happened."
Yeah, I couldn't even make a case for it compared to the Genesis story because it's so ridiculous. Like I'm on Wikipedia right now, and it says, "Who brought billions of his people to Earth, then known as Tegiak." So why? That's the one thing I hate, is because this is clearly a sci-fi writer writing science fiction, because it's an English-sounding thing. Like this is another planet. Why do they call? Yes, we call this Tegiak. Oh, you people call it Earth. Like, why are those sounds even coming out of their throats? Like, why do they have throats? We don't know where the fuck. It's another galaxy or whatever.
We just happen to enjoy 3 syllables on this galaxy.
Right. Yeah.
To still
That's as far as they still have 2 legs, 2 arms. They just use more syllables. So different. So different on this other.
We have a lot in common, except these motherfuckers are syllabic. Holy shit. Can't you just say, like, hello? But yeah, that's like
Zim.
That's like Star Trek, like 1950s alien movies. The Glaknorks are coming, and they have their giant robot flea flobs,
and they're just different colored people.
Yeah.
What are the odds that biology would evolve exactly the same on this other world?
2 legs and 2 arms is the way to go in the whole universe.
We are the pinnacle of existence ever.
Everybody gets
which is bullshit. I mean, that's why our doctor friend has a job, because nature gave us, like, our spine is great if you walk around on all 4s, but for something that stands up, like, we don't protect any of this shit. It's just like, yeah, here's my guts and this little thin thing that sends all sensation to my legs. Hope that doesn't get hurt. That's why everyone has a sciatica problem, because we're fucking built stupid.
Amen, brother.
Yeah.
You're gonna live for 100 years unless you walk into anything sharp. Stupid bodies.
All right. So, do we have a drum roll?
Oh, yeah, we do. All right, that one was pretty solid. Pretty solid. Here we go.
Oh, that's way
The
better.
Factors by L. Ron Hubbard. 4 out of 30.
Oh,
All
my
right.
God.
Yeah.
2 out of 15.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
That's 1 out of 8.5. No, 6.5. I don't know, one of those.
I'm like 10% Scientologist.
So percentage-wise, I mean, this is doing the worst.
Yeah. Out of the two, for sure.
Out of the two things. Out of the two things,
It's probably-
this also sucked.
I would like to do like Norse mythology at some point and compare it to this, because like everyone was like, no, obviously that's not real, but people are still doing this. So just to compare, if Norse mythology can do better than the 4 out of 30 ratio.
Well, it's right there in it. It's like Norse mythology. They don't say it like
Right, yeah.
They're acknowledging it's like mythology.
Yeah, they own their shit and are realistic about it, and that's the way to get votes out of me. Just be honest.
Yeah, I was gonna say we just give points arbitrarily, so it shouldn't be hard to beat this. We'll just rig it.
Yeah, it's like, yo, I showed up because this giant tree is pretty awesome, and I have a hammer, and my dad is the reason we have Wednesday. Cool.
Yeah,
perfect.
Someone wants me to kill a snake. Am I supposed to fight the snake? Is that? Yeah.
Hundreds across the board.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Nice work, Scientology. Anything else?
Yep. No, nothing on my end.
All right, yeah. Nothing on my end.
Thanks for listening.
Crack, you got any plugs? You going to be anywhere?
I'll be at Charles' house for the rest of the night.
Yeah. Except for when we go out. but then we'll be back.
Yeah, it'll end up here.
Going out's good as long as it ends in going in. Well, I would just like to point out, so let's see, what year is this? 23. So in 2007, I went on a road trip with Crack and Sven, and Crack was like, yo, back in. This way you can just pull out. Like about like me getting into a parking space. So since May of 2007, I've only backed into parking spaces.
Try it out if you haven't.
That's it makes easier leaving.
It really does.
You won't regret it.
Some of the best leaving money can buy.
I'll be honest, if I'm in like a shop, right, a parking lot or whatever like that, I'll walk further if it means I get a pull through spot where I can just not have to back up
those
and just
are the
go
best.
through.
Yeah,
and park
by all means, do that.
Yeah, I'll park way far away.
Same.
Yeah, it's so much better.
Like pull through spots are like you get into it and you're just like, fuck, I could just go home. This was productive.
Right. Yeah.
I don't even have to get out of my
like
car.
who better than me right now?
Yeah.
It's like a driveway.
I could get out of the car and go inside, and it's only going to get worse.
If I wait any longer, someone's going to pull in front of me and just, ruin everything. So.
So see Crack pulling out in a parking lot near you.
Hopefully with a smile on my face.
Hey-o.
Yeah, nice.
Got him. Under the Guise of Science at gmail.com, Facebook and Instagram.
And GUISE always.
That's right.
Under the Guise of Science on YouTube, the TikTok, right? And on, I forget what we're on, X. We are formerly known as Twitter. We are at Science Guys.
Guys, always spelled Guise. Join our Patreon. Be a co-host.
Do it. Become a Scientologist unwittingly.
Get backdoored into something you never thought you'd believe in.
I have some soul searching to do. Never get that $3 back.
Sorry for ruining your life. Please listen to Far Barfo.
Yeah, at least do that.
And then see you next time. Fucker!
Peace.